Hey, what's up, guys? It's Anthony, and today I'm going to talk about Disgaea, which is my favorite RPG series of all time. Now, while I do love the series, there are things I love about it, and there are things that I feel like they kind of made a misstep on. And I'm going to talk about a few of those things, as well as what I hope to see in Disgaea 5 Alliance of Vengeance. So the first thing I really love is the item system, which is a world inside each of your individual items where you can dive in and power up said item, or you can grind up your characters and level them up to level 9999 if you so choose. I really love this because it gives the game a sort of infinite replay value, and it's just what other game can you think of has something that's so convenient where you can just go and grind to your heart's content? And some people may think that, oh, it's just repeats of maps. But then the next thing I love makes it so each map is so unique. And it's the Geo Panel System. The Geo Panel System is the way that each map feels like its own, and it can either stack the odds against you or give you a really great advantage, or it can do just any number of random things. I mean, just imagine you're on a map and two creatures are fusing together to make one strong creature, or when you stand on a certain color, you're invincible. There are just so many possibilities of Geo Panel System. There's just so many things it can do to a map, and you have to think on the fly of, oh my goodness, what am I going to do to conquer this map? What am I going to do to make my next move and make sure that over in a few turns? And another great thing about that system is that sometimes the geo panels move, so it really keeps you guessing throughout the map. And my third favorite thing is the Dark Assembly, which is a way to vote for more benefits in the game, whether it be more classes, or it can be something like more money, more experience, things like that. But you always have to win the vote through dirty means or through fighting, or maybe you just have such a great personality they'll just go ahead and vote for you, which is unlikely. There are ways to bribe senators, there are ways to, just beat up the ones that don't like you. It's a very thoughtful and I dare say political way of doing things in the game that I hope stays around till the end of this guy's time. Now, as far as missteps, they were game specific. Each of these things I have a problem with, and I hope to never ever see again. The first one was from Disgaea 4, where they have this war map room thing that just overcomplicated the game, where the further you get, the more icons you get, or the more the map you take over. It was really overcomplicated and unnecessary, I feel, because some of the icons can either make you really overpowered, or some things can just, it wasn't worth the effort. It really wasn't, and I hope to never ever ever see it again. The other thing I feel like Disgaea 4 did, as you can tell, Disgaea 4 was not my favorite, was the ability system where each character has their own ability. They have to make things clever. And it wasn't very balanced. Some things were overpowered and other things were just like really terrible. And the third thing came from the latest installment, Disgaea D2, which is the cheat room system where you can manipulate stats and make things. You can either give yourself more money, give yourself more mana, or more experience, of course at the cost of something else. But it made the game way too easy. It just, imagine going against all these creatures that are maybe 3 times their original level, and you grind, and now you're at level 400 in a matter of minutes. The game was way too exploitable, and I feel like the cheating system was the main cause of it. So with that said, here are my hopes for Disgaea 5. One thing I hope for is more Geo Panel effects that make the game crazy, like just nuts. I want to see more effects that, I don't know, make giant creatures, or I don't know, just some crazy off the wall stuff you wouldn't see in a whole lot of RPGs. The next thing I want is to make the monsters useful. A big gripe I've always had about Disgaea games is that a lot of the monsters don't feel useful. I'm not really inspired to use the Prinnies, or I'm not inspired to use the Alaroons or the Wolves or the Death guys, or I'm just not. Because a lot of them don't have a lot of use. Later games, or I think this guy at 5 was the one that tried to make them so that they become weapons, but it came at the cost of 2 units for one, and it just wasn't worth it. And then this guy at D2 came with the monster mount system, and that was okay, but it wasn't something that was I would use consistently. It was okay. So I want to see monsters become more useful. And the third thing I would have to say, is a way for this guy to explain itself better. This Gaia is kind of a game that's for hardcore people, but to bring more people in, it would be great if the game sort of explained itself and told people what it was about, as opposed to people having to go on GameFAQs and think to themselves, man, how do I get these innocents? How do I power up weapons? How do I get legendary weapons? What is an item general? All these questions that the game doesn't really answer too well. So I don't want to over tutorialize the game, but I would say make the information more accessible than some random monster hanging around the home hub. And I think that would about wrap up my hopes. So with that said, what do you guys hope for from Disgaea? What are your favorite things? What are your least favorite things? And are you guys hyped for Disgaea 5? I know I am. I know I'm going to love the crap out of it, as I do every Disgaea game. And I hope this one becomes my favorite. I'm really looking forward to playing this day in and day out. So, leave your comments below, and yeah, talk to you guys later.